Hello, my name is Spencer George, and this is my mini speech 2 on how to properly film yourself using your computer and use Zoom and other applications for virtual meetings. So a lot of people think that these meetings are kind of a temporary phenomena that's come about just due to the coronavirus, but that's actually not true. These meetings have been increasing in numbers over the years. They become more relevant, and they're going to continue to become more relevant in the future. So knowing the ins and outs of these is really important to your success in work and school. And I have used Zoom before the pandemic, often for my ACT tutoring, so I actually know just a little bit about it, at least before it became very mainstream with schools. So also, you might think that you have a pretty good understanding of Zoom and that it's an easy thing to use, but there are a lot of people, especially in our area, who have expressed a lot of dismay with Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and other things because they do not know how to use them at all because they come from very technologically disadvantaged households and they've never had any experience with them. So you're often going to have to explain the ins and outs of Zoom and other chat-based meeting systems to these people that might be your coworkers or your fellow students. So these meetings, once you actually get to know them and learn your way around them, can actually be better than in-person meetings. And I hope by the end of this speech you'll be able to see that these are actually not stressful. These are things that can be easy and fun and very useful for people that have to stay home or are traveling a lot, or just big companies that need meetings with hundreds of people that they can't host in the boardroom. So here I'm going to tell you the needs to know for Zoom specifically, and just a few tips that you can apply to Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So you do not need to download Zoom. A lot of people think that you do. You do not. If you get an email which just says that you have a Zoom invite, you can click on it and it will open the software. You do not need to download anything. You can join a meeting and nothing will happen to your computer. So if you want to host your own meeting, then you will need to download Zoom, but Zoom is free. It is free and it is very easy to use. It's very accessible for the average person, and you can have up to 100 people in a meeting. So that's why Zoom is so popular with schools and businesses, because the model is very user-friendly and it's free. So if you want to download Zoom, all you have to do is go to their website and download they have a download link right at the bottom, and all you have to do is download it, hit run, and it's that simple. So the etiquette for Zoom meetings is very important. Just always remember that you want the same kind of etiquette that you would for an in-person meeting, which is pretty much just to not speak out of term and to look good. A lot of people don't really consider that. You don't want to be in very casual wear for a very formal meeting. So if you would normally dress in a suit and tie for that kind of meeting in person, put on at least a suit jacket or something more formal for your Zoom meeting, and don't have a very messy and cluttered background because people don't want to see that in a formal meeting either. And what you can do with Zoom and Microsoft Teams, but with Zoom specifically, if you go into the options, there's a virtual background option which will cut your figure out and will replace the background behind you with something like a library, whatever you want really, whatever's appropriate for the formal meeting. And just always be aware of your surroundings and pay attention to yourself while you are filming yourself, because your facial expressions can be really important to how you're conveying that you're paying attention and other things. So these are all very important things to know for the future, because these meeting-based softwares are going to be used more and more for work and school. So to be successful, you're going to need to know how to use them, and you're going to have to interact with them a lot. And these tips are also applicable everywhere, not just Zoom. And my resources for this speech were the GoToMeeting blog and Zoom's own support pages. Thank you.